Should you buy a Yoshan roaster or a more expensive, higher-end roaster for your coffee business? So that's the question that I'm going to be answering here in this video. I had an email come to me recently from my YouTube channel, this channel, and asking that question, like how would I compare the Yoshan roaster to maybe a Mill City or a Probat or a Loring or a Diedrich. Now, I have not had any experience on some of those, but I have had quite a bit of experience on a Diedrich roaster recently, and I would say that there's some major differences. And the major difference, obviously, the first one is the price point. For the Yoshan roaster, for a 2-kilogram roaster, you're looking at around $3,000 to $3,500 delivered. For a Diedrich roaster, I think you're looking at upwards of $20,000 kind of to start, or maybe it's like $15,000, depending. I know that the one that I was working on, the fellow that bought it, it was $21,000 to him, delivered and set up. So that's a big investment. Whereas mine, altogether, I got a roasting table that comes along with it that has wheels that's maneuverable. I was all in for less than $5,000. So that's where the financial differences are. Now, I would compare the Diedrich to the Yoshan roaster this way. Yoshan, while it's a fantastic roaster, and I have no buyer's remorse at all. I really do dig this roaster. It's definitely, it's not a higher end roaster. You can tell it's not flimsy in any way. But when you work with one, it's the way that I can compare it is it's like driving like a really nice Toyota Camry to maybe driving a little more luxury Lexus or something like that. There's different quality feels to it, right? Whereas let's say the heating element, for example, in the Yoshan, it's like a gas element. It's almost like a barbecue propane. If this for the propane one that I have that ignites, it kind of heats the drum from the bottom, and as the drum spins. Whereas with the Diedrich, it's more of almost like these heater coils that are gas powered, but more like if you're sitting at a restaurant and it's like one of those big plates or like those setups that have like the heating pressing down on you, right? It's still gas, but it seems much more powerful. So with like coming out of the turning point on your roast, you get a much stronger pull out of a Diedrich than I do get from my Yoshan roaster. Now, it doesn't mean that I can't get a great quality roast out of it. I do, and I can. It's just a different experience. Also, the air settings on the Yoshan are quite different, whereas they go from 0 to 100. I know that that's the case for the Mill City, but with the Diedrich, it's only got a 3-setting system where it's got air 100% flow to the cooling tray, air 100% flow to the drum, or 50-50 cooling tray or drum, right? And so it's just those 3 settings, and you have to make your adjustments. It's kind of nice because it just sets you up for, the very specific way of roasting where you're not kind of messing around with your airflow too much. You create a system and then you work with it in that way. That's what I like about the Diedrich. So if I was to say, what would I do if I was to buy a Diedrich or a higher end roaster? I think it depends on your business. If you have money to blow and you have maybe really high-end investors and maybe the roaster is going to be a presentational point of your company and your business, then maybe go with a higher end one. But I think if you're going to be somebody who's just starting out, maybe you don't have a huge cash flow and you want to build that up and build your customer base, then a Yoshan roaster would probably be the way to go. Because it's just easier to get into, and you can set it up, and it's a low cost starting point. You can always upgrade at some point, and if you want to, and you can always sell your roaster. So there's one other part of this question that came in was like, what about maintenance? What about like the warranty? Should that be something that we're worried about? And the warranty for the Yoshan roaster is a year. You can get extended warranties. Some parts are 3 years, some parts are 5 years, depending on if they break or not. But I know that because it's a Chinese company, that there's a little bit of delay in terms of getting help. But I'll tell you this, every time I reach out to my sales rep, she puts me in contact with the engineering team, and they get back to me very quickly to problem solve. And so I don't think that, for what I'm paying, I don't feel like I'm losing that value in help with maintenance or help with any kind of like troubleshooting. As a roaster, I'll say this. whether you're working, at a smaller shop or you're starting to maybe grow your business, you as the roaster will be the person who is going to be doing most of the maintenance on your roaster, period. You're going to have to be cleaning out your chaff. You're going to have to make sure that all your gears are oiled and everything is well maintained, making sure that your ducts and your exhaust systems are cleaned out so you're not running into any issues down the line to really jeopardize the quality of your roasts, also jeopardizing the running of your machine. So I think that if you're going to consider doing a Yoshan roaster, I think it's a really great start for a lot of people. And I'll say this: if you are considering it, feel free to reach out to me because I do have access to a potential discount for you, as well as extended warranty if you go through me. So you can email me, rob@ocdcoffee.com or ocdcoffeeclub.com, sorry, or you can reach out to me through the website as well, and I can get you hooked up with that kind of discount as well as extended warranty and maybe even a free gift. If all goes well. All right, guys, enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions.